What is going on, man? It's been a little bit, and in today's video I'm gonna be talking about if I was talking to my 18-year-old self. I'm 25 right now. What would I advise him? Now, what I'm about to say in this video can apply to you even if you're above the age of 18, maybe even above the age of 25. This is more so in a time period where you don't have major responsibilities. I'm 25 right now, and I got very minimal responsibilities compared to people that are way older. I don't have fucking kids. I don't have a fucking wife. I don't have people depending on me at this point in my life. So this is who this video is for. But to start off, man, if you're someone who, especially if you're younger right now, I just want to tell you that 18 to 25 will go by so fucking quick. And I'm not even trying to say this to scare you off. I'm just trying to tell you this because I wish someone had told me this. Because when you're 18, the concept of time is way different as you get older. When you're under the age of 25, a lot of your life has been spent in school. And I just remember, for me personally, man, I remember the school years would take so fucking long to get through. Now at 25, man, the years just go by so quick. It's been the start of 2026 and we're already in mid-February, man. I'm telling you, time goes by way faster because your concept of time changes as you get older. And I really want to hammer this point in because a lot of people, when they're younger, think, yo, I got all this time, I don't really have to rush things, which is fair, right? But at the same time too, you don't have as much time to fuck off as you think you do. Because I'm telling you, one thing I kind of regret is fucking off a little bit too much to the point where I'm like, fuck, man. I look back and I'm like, yo, there were a couple years where maybe if I stopped doing some of the bullshit I was on, I could be a little bit further than where I am. But I had to go through all of that in order to be who I am today. So it is what it is. I'm just letting you know that if you're currently someone who's younger right now, under the age of 25, yo, time is gonna go by way faster than you currently perceive. And if you're on some bullshit right now, I would highly advise getting your shit together because you will lay a better foundation in your later years and be so grateful that you stopped the bullshit. Some people, they don't stop the bullshit until they get to 40, man, right? That's tough, man, because at that age, you got fucking kids, a wife, maybe your parents are depending on you, all these major responsibilities. So, although you do got time right now and no major responsibilities, don't think this time is not gonna go by quick. Because I'm telling you, man, time, especially once you graduate from university or college, if you're in college or university right now, especially when that's over, time is just gonna go by so fucking quick, man. And if you want to do big things in your life, start moving with a little bit of urgency. The second thing I would have told my younger self when he was 18 is to try out a whole bunch of shit, as well as try to travel as much as you can. And this kind of goes back to the point of you don't have any major responsibilities, and to travel, you may not have a lot of bills currently. You may have a lot of more disposable income that you can spend on trips. And making memories and trips, I wish I did a lot more of that. I did make a couple trips. However, I wish I had made more, man, because you learn a lot about the world, as well as making those memories, man. When you're making those memories while you're younger, is always something you can look back on. And to that point of trying out different shit, don't be so fucking hard-headed and not want to try some new shit because you think, oh, this is my path right now, I am super set. Try as much shit as you can at this stage of your life, because in the grand scheme of things, from 18 to 25, you can fuck up a lot, and if you get to 25, you're still relatively okay. You can still make a comeback from that. You can still make a comeback fucking up your entire 20s, but you would have to start taking your 30s way more seriously, right? But from 18 to 25, try out as much shit as possible. For me, one thing I'm super grateful for was that I started training martial arts at the age of 23. And it is currently a big passion of mine right now. I train boxing regularly. I train jiu-jitsu a couple times throughout the week. And I'm so glad I tried this shit out, because had I not, first off, I probably would have had major regret if I started it way later on in life, because I'm like, fuck, these are my youthful years and this is where I could have made some real progress. I didn't have as much responsibilities. But second of all, that path that you are currently in when you're younger, more than likely is going to dramatically change as you get older. And finding out you like different shit later on in life can maybe put a hindrance into you enjoying it, because your life may be way different at the age of 30 or 35, right? And I've probably said this already a numerous amount of times, but I'm telling you, try out a bunch of shit, because you don't have no major debt. You're not expected to have a full-time job at this point. You most likely don't have kids or a wife. So try out as much shit as you possibly can, because, like I said, you got all this time and not too much responsibility. The third thing I would have told myself when I was 18 is that there are so many women on this planet, and more than likely, as a young man that is a heterosexual, if you're into guys, you can be into that. I don't have anything really against that. But if you are a young heterosexual male, there's more than likely going to be a time period in your life in the future where you're probably going to get your heart broken, probably going to be tripping about a girl. You're going to think that the world is over because this girl left you. And one thing I wish I would have told my younger self is that there's so many women out there. And more than likely, if you're with a girl right now, she probably won't be your wife. I'm sorry to break it to you. I'm not saying it can't happen, but yo, 50% of marriages in North America end up in a divorce. Okay? Fucking marriage. Like, motherfuckers sign a contract. More than likely, especially with the amount of promiscuity. I don't even know if I said that word. I don't even know if I said that correctly. But with the amount of promiscuity and the amount of people in this like club culture and all that, the girl you're probably with isn't gonna be your wife. And there are so many women on this planet, and you will find another girl. You will probably find a whole bunch of different girls at a certain point. But one thing I would also mention is that as long as you're actively working on yourself, there will always be an abundance of women. Don't think just because some girl did you wrong or that girl left you that you're never gonna find a girl again. Okay? Well, and it's not the end of the world if the one you're with, the one that you're infatuated with, ends up leaving. Okay? There's so many women on this planet, and if you're actively working on yourself from 18 to 25, what also kind of happens too is that the kind of quality of women you get will be way better later on in life too. But I want to put a special emphasis, that's if you're actively working on yourself. And what I mean by actively working on yourself, I mean that leveling up in your looks, your fitness, your money, your intellect, all of that, man. Just an overall, just creating a better version of yourself, okay? You don't gotta trip about any girl, right? And the final point I would advise my younger self is to manage your money better, okay? Me personally, I never really had a problem when it comes to making money, because I've always been someone who's very ambitious, so I would figure out ways to get some dollars. However, one thing about me when I was younger was, although I could make some money, I had terrible spending habits. I would spend it on stupid shit all the fucking time. When I was younger, I was spending it on fucking drugs. I was spending it fucking on women. I would spend it on doing a whole bunch of dumb shit that I didn't necessarily need to do. And had I managed my money better, I would have probably have had a good amount in savings at my age right now. So although this concept of yo, want to make as much money as possible is thrown out on the internet a whole bunch, what is more important in my opinion is managing it. Because I'm telling you, if you can't manage $1,000, probably won't be able to manage $1 million. Because we all know what happens when people get more money. When people get more money, they get a lifestyle inflation. They start spending more money to upgrade their life instead of, once they make more money, to put some aside and invest into yourself or into assets that could make you more money. But I'm telling you, if you learn to manage your money better, you first off won't go broke, and then if you start making a lot of money, you will be set. But if you can't manage your money properly, it doesn't matter how much money you get, how fucking rich you get, you will find a way to fucking blow it. And when you blow it, it's gonna leave an empty feeling in you, because you're gonna be like, fuck man, I had all this money and I blew it all, and because of that, I have to now go through the things I have to go through right now because I ended up blowing all that money. So make sure when you're younger, you learn to manage your money. I'm not saying you can't spend some money to have a good time. What I'm saying is develop habit of managing your money better, because once you get older, those habits will stick. And if you've been managing your money while you were younger, you'll have a good amount of savings. And when you get older and stuff, it allow you to make some plays that will generate you more money. Or maybe you could start a business. You could buy a house. You could buy a car. All those kind of different things, right? But if you don't have no money and you end up blowing it all, it's going to be way harder once you get older to manage your money, because now you got bills on top of that. And as you get even older, you probably might have kids, you might have a girl, you might have to support other people, like I mentioned, right? So make sure you learn to manage your money. With that being said, man, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you guys want me to talk about anything related to mindset, fitness, boxing, or just any life experiences that you want to hear from me about, let me know in the comments below. But other than that, man, I'm gonna catch you guys in the next one.